The Indiana Pacers aren't supposed to be here. Game 7 of the 2025 Finals just 48 minutes away from a potential championship. But how? Entering the postseason as the 4 seed with the likes of Halliburton, Siakam, Turner, Nesmith, Nembhard, and McConnell, the Pacers were just solid. But the way they played was far from it.
He'll backpedal a 3 for the win.
Indiana ran 10 deep with a relentless, fast-paced, full-court style that put any team they played in absolute hell. A formula that allowed them to rally back from the brink of death numerous times throughout these playoffs, all of which were capped off by a signature game-winning shot by their superstar Tyrese Halliburton in every single series, including these finals. It's taken everything to get to this Game 7, and by that point, there was nothing left to give.
Halliburton's hurt right away when he fell. He's in pain, so emotional.
A catastrophic injury at the worst possible moment ended one of the great Cinderella runs the sport has ever seen. A run that never got the ending it deserved. It's Game 1 of the 2024 Eastern Conference Finals. The Pacers lead the Celtics by 3 with just 30 seconds remaining. Stealing this Game 1 on the road would swing the series in Indy's favor, but instead, they collapsed.
And able to get it to Halliburton. They don't have to foul yet. Nesmith trying to save it, and he's out of bounds. Celtics get it back with 27.7 remaining. Nembhard looking. Finds Siakam, knocked out of bounds. No official call. The officials, Celtics ball. Holiday will inbound. Tatum trying to get free. Throwing in the corner. Brown fakes, fires up the 3. Bang! Bang! Jaylen Brown knocks down the 3 to tie the game. Timeout, Indiana. The Celtics survive in overtime and take Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
In a game that could have altered the trajectory of this series, it instead turned into a late game choke job by a team that just doesn't have much experience in those moments. And the rest of the series didn't break their way either. Halliburton would pull his hamstring in Game 2 and miss Games 3 and 4, as the Celtics go on to sweep and win the NBA title just a few weeks later. All things considered, it was a great conference finals run. After all, Indiana was the 6th seed. No one expected them to make it that far, and the only reason they did was because they got lucky. In round 1, they faced a Bucks team without Lillard and Giannis, and in round 2, they caught a break against a banged up Knicks squad. The prevailing narrative was that Indiana lucked out. They weren't legit, and the beginning of the 2025 season would seemingly prove that point. By December 31st, Indy was sitting as the 8th seed with a 16-18 record. Injuries to Nembhard and Nesmith haven't helped, on top of the fact that their superstar was really struggling, averaging his fewest points per game in over 3 seasons on the worst efficiency of his career. As the focal point of the team, everything rests on Halliburton's shoulders. They can only go as far as he can take them. So as the calendar turned to 2025, the switch was flipped. Suddenly, Tyrese was back to playing like himself, and the Pacers got healthy, resulting in a 34-14 record the rest of the season, including a 15-3 heater in their final 18 games. Indy might do some damage, but at the end of the day, they're a 4 seed. In an Eastern Conference loaded with a 64-win Cleveland squad and the defending champions 61-win Celtics, the Pacers are simply not in that realm. Plus, they got their hands full in round 1, a rematch against their fiercest rival with a healthy Greek freak. Let's see what these dudes are made of. In the racing capital of the world, the Pacers put the pedal to the floor right off rip, winning game 1 by 19 points. But it wasn't without a little bit of trash talk between Dame and Tyrese late in the fourth. I wonder if Lillard was calling him overrated. I say that because on the morning of Game 2 on April 22nd, the yearly anonymous NBA player poll was released by The Athletic, which consists of 158 players voting on various topics, one of which was who they believe to be the most overrated player in the NBA. The number one vote getter, our guy, Tyrese Halliburton. As if he and the Pacers didn't already have enough to prove with last year's narrative, this only added fuel to the fire. Hallie came out possessed in Game 2, dishing out 4 dimes in the first 5 minutes of the game before putting Lopez in a blender for the crafty finish, then splashing down a tray right in Lillard's eye as he stares him down. He was on that type of timing. Tyrese would finish the night with 21 points, 5 boards, and 12 dimes, silencing his haters for the time being. Out on the road for Game 3, the Bucks caught fire to get back in the series, but Indy got their lick back in Game 4. It was a full team effort, with 8 different Pacers scoring in double digits, as they take a 3-1 chokehold on the series. Back on home turf for Game 5, Indy found themselves down 2 with 20 seconds to go. The ball finds Tyrese's hands, he blows past Trent Jr. and throws it down to get the game to OT. He's so fired up, he gives the ball a stare down. However, with their season on the line, Milwaukee cranked up the heat in overtime, stacking up a 7-point lead with just 40 seconds remaining. Indiana needs a miracle.
7-point lead. Nembhard with it free. Good. Still time to go. 4-point game. The steal. 4-point game. Halliburton attacking. And the foul. To Green. Trent with it. And he moves it on a brilliant night. Here we go. Halliburton. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. Halliburton for the lead. And the Pacers are moving on. What a comeback in overtime by Indiana. 119-118.
From a long-range missile from Nembhard to suffocating defense that forces 2 Milwaukee turnovers, with some help from Gary Trent Jr., to letting Halliburton do what he's done all year in the clutch, Indy does the impossible. Oh, and that dude he blew past for the game-winning layup was the former 2-time MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Tyrese is stoked, and so was his dad. Right as the buzzer went off, he gets right in Giannis's face, taunting him after his son's game winner, sparking some final fireworks between these two rivals, which resulted in the NBA banning him from attending games for the foreseeable future. I'm telling you, man, the Pacers are deep, with 7 players averaging over 10 points per game throughout this series. This isn't your typical 4 seed, and they'll have a chance to prove it against a bona fide juggernaut in round 2.
We welcome you to downtown Cleveland. The Cavaliers and the Pacers set to collide on the playoff stage with a trip to the conference finals at stake. Halliburton doing his dance. Crosses over, steps back, and buries it. Comes Hunter on the wing, turn back. My goodness. Second Siakam into the corner. Turner, clean look, and he buries it. The timer crosses over, pulls, and still sticks it. Great series opener that he's hit for 30 or plus. Andrew Nembhard. Nembhard, 5 to shoot. Tough step back, and he connects on a deep shot for Indiana. The Indiana Pacers come to Cleveland, take the home court advantage, and make their early statement in this Eastern Conference semifinal.
In a complete stunner, Indy goes into the #1 seed 64-win Cavaliers crib and steal Game 1. Behind 22 and 13 from Hallie, 17 from Nesmith, 17 from Siakam, and of course 23 from Nembhard, who delivered some long-range daggers to seal it. Looking to run it back, the Pacers were met with a little bit of luck, as Cleveland was without Mobley and Garland for Game 2, which makes this an easy win, right? Well, they still had Donovan Mitchell, who entered another dimension, scoring 36 points through 3 quarters, leading his team to a 7-point lead with 48 seconds remaining. A situation that seems awfully familiar to Game 5 versus Milwaukee. With a chance to cut the lead down to 5, Siakam is headed to the free throw line. He misses the first, then proceeds to miss the second, before Aaron Nesmith drops down from the rafters to stuff in the putback. On the following inbounds, he draws an offensive foul on Mitchell. That possession, Siakam scoops it home to cut the lead to 3. They force yet another turnover on the next Cavalier inbound. Tyrese gets the ball in his hands, drives, and gets fouled at the rim, giving him the opportunity to get within 1. He makes the first, and on the second,
Much better job of getting open.
Misses Halliburton the rebound. They do have a timeout. Carlisle's going to let him play. Halliburton steps back and hits. Tyrese Halliburton. And it is over. The Indiana Pacers in a Game 2 stunner.
Mr. Overrated does it again, stepping back for the ballsy 3 to win a second game on Cleveland's home court. When the going gets tough, Indiana thrives. They've clearly learned from their late game mistakes from last season, as they're now the ones forcing late game turnovers and coming through in the clutch. What a 180. Looking to take that momentum back home, it ended up being Cleveland who finally broke through, behind 43, 9 and 5 from Mitchell in a 22-point rout, to which Indy responded with a full-blown demolition. In the first half of Game 4, they dropped 12 threes down the hatch to take a 41-point lead. This is against a fully healthy Cavs team too, by the way. These dudes are no fluke, scoring over 120 points for the 5th time this postseason. All that talk is real quiet now. With a chance to close out the series on the road, the Pacers didn't come out too hot, finding themselves down 19 early in the second quarter. That seems like a sign to wrap it up. Well, apparently not. Tyrese turned into a living flamethrower the rest of the quarter, going 5 for 5 from deep, in which 4 of those were from 30 plus feet out, including a 35-footer with his foot on the logo. It was Curry-esque, as Tyrese single-handedly cut the lead down to 4 entering halftime. He didn't slow down in the second half either, pouring in 14 points with an exclamation mark in the 4th, swatting Ty Jerome's shot from behind before going coast to coast for the and 1. And by he and the bench's reaction, you know it's over. 31 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists on 67% shooting, as Indiana bounces the East #1 seed out of the playoffs. Like I said, the Pacers can go as far as Tyrese can take them, and right now, they're headed to a second consecutive Eastern Conference Finals. And just like that, we're back. A 2024 Round 2 rematch that the Knicks swore they would have won had they been healthy. Now, with a trip to the NBA Finals on the line, they have a chance to prove it. And in Game 1, they sort of did. Fast forward to the fourth, and a Brunson free throw puts New York up 14 with 3:44 remaining. Now, this is the part where I'm supposed to say there's no chance they come back, it's over, GG's. But from what we've seen in previous rounds, we know that's not true. And so, I introduce to you the New York Miracle.
Also, if you would have told me with Brunson, another three by Neesmith.
11 of 29, shooting threes, about 38%. Halliburton, his three is good. Find the defensive arm. Neesmith three, caught!
Turner, the rim protector, on the floor as well.
Neesmith three, caught! Another one from outside. Neesmith again, three, got it! He's a flamethrower! Neesmith, it's a three. It's a two-point game.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
a two-point game with 22 seconds to go. Indiana with it. Halliburton. He'll take it. He'll backpedal a three for the win.
For the third time this postseason, the Pacers have escaped death. From down 14 with 3 to go, it goes Neesmith 3, Hallie 3, Neesmith 3, Siakam free throw, Neesmith 3, Neesmith 3, Neesmith 3, Neesmith free throws into a Halliburton prayer of a 3 that bounces off the heel up to the shot clock and drops through as he emulates Reggie Miller's choke sign from the 1994 playoffs. With Reggie in attendance, Pacer history repeats itself at the Garden. But as the replay states, it's a 2, not a 3. Let's hope that wasn't premature. Tyrese made sure it wasn't. In the extra frame with 30 seconds to go, he delivers a slick scoop pass to Nembhard to take a 1-point lead, followed by a dagger dunk by Obi Toppin, and now, that's game. With 31 points and 11 assists, Halliburton was celebrated as the game's hero for that shot. But man, it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Neesmith, who dropped 30 and 8 threes, in which 20 of those and 6 of those triples were in the fourth quarter. How is Indiana doing this? Are they using dark magic? With their sights set on a 2-0 lead, it was another star who rose to the occasion, as Siakam gave MSG a 39-point masterclass, with a helping hand from Turner, who snapped for 13 points in the fourth quarter, as Indy steals another game at MSG, taking a 2-0 series lead back to Indianapolis. Despite leading by 16 at half in Game 3, the Pacers saw the Knicks surge back to get themselves back in the series. Gaining some momentum, New York was feeling good. That is until the Halliburton dropped a bomb.
You're not a terrorist.
I am not.
But did you or did you not take down New York?
No, with my teammates.
The Halliburton, that's not your nickname?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Indiana 4-6, 3. Halliburton. Here comes Halliburton. He has the last 7 points for Indy. And right away, Neesmith takes off.
Looking over his shoulder, so to speak.
Halliburton with a 3 from way outside. Shot clock at 3. Halliburton for 3.
Well, that was deep, but
Goes on top. It's Toppin for 3. Good!
that'll do it.
That's it. The Indiana Pacers are 1 win away from the NBA Finals.
Gainbridge Fieldhouse was turned as they saw the Halliburton rain down bombs, delivering a 32-point, 12-rebound, 15-assist, and 4-steal performance with 0 turnovers, on top of a 30-piece from Spicy P and 20 from Mathurin off the bench. This is the definition of a team. Even on a career night by their superstar, multiple guys are making a winning impact, as Indiana takes a 3-1 series lead. New York would muster up another win in front of their home crowd, but that's all the Pacers would give them, closing it out at home in Game 6. If this doesn't prove it, I don't know what will. Last year was clearly no fluke, and neither is this, as Indiana is set to make their first NBA Finals appearance in over a quarter century. But once again, everyone's counting them out entering the finals, as they're running straight into a thunderstorm. By every metric, matchup, or prediction, it all points in Oklahoma City's favor. That is, the 68-win OKC Thunder led by MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Indiana's played the underdog role before, but this was different, and Game 1 showed. In unfamiliar territory, the Pacers are getting stomped, echoed by a Jalen Williams slam and roar to put the Thunder up 15 with 9 minutes remaining in the fourth. But then suddenly, Indiana was comfortable again, counted out, facing an insurmountable deficit with barely any time to come back. This is where they thrive. The floodgates opened with a barrage of threes from Toppin to Turner to a tween cross, step back 3 by Nembhard over the MVP, and it's butter. He attempts it again the next possession, misses, but Siakam is right there for the putback, and it's a 1-point game. SGA comes back down the other way, but he can't capitalize. The Pacers get possession, and you already know what comes next.
Pacers with a chance to win it. Final seconds, no fouls to give. Halliburton looking. Halliburton driving, pulls up, jump shot. It's good! With 3/10 of a second remaining. Timeout, OKC. Tyrese Halliburton does it again. Their first lead of the game. What a victory for the Pacers as Tyrese Halliburton's heroics take center stage.
One down, baby. One down, baby.
We shouldn't even be surprised at this point. This is what Tyrese does. A 4th game winner, a 4th improbable comeback, and a stunning 1-0 series lead for the Pacers. In Game 2, OKC counterpunched with a dominant performance to tie the series, which now brings us to Indiana. Hosting a finals game for the first time since 2000, the building was electric, and it was only right to have one of the longest tenured Pacers take it to another level. TJ McConnell begins the second quarter by threading a dime to Siakam. He then steals the inbounds pass, grabs the ensuing offensive rebound, setting up Mathurin for an easy 2. Minutes later, he dots Nesmith for another layup, then deflects the inbounds pass and whips the ball off a Thunder as he falls out of bounds to maintain possession, as he releases a primal scream to the crowd. From down 8 when TJ entered the game to up 4 entering halftime. The dude was cooking. That spark had Indiana flying the rest of the night, as they win by 9 and take a stunning 2-1 series lead. With all the momentum in the world entering Game 4 on their home floor, the Pacers were playing with swagger as they entered the 4th quarter up 7. A 3-1 series lead is just 12 minutes away. That said, they didn't rise to the occasion. Indy would shoot an abysmal 5 for 18 and 0 for 8 from 3 in the quarter, while the MVP took off for 15 in the frame, and in the blink of an eye, the series is knotted up at 2. Indiana's inability to close out Game 4 at home was followed by a gut punch in Game 5. In the first half, Halliburton attempts to explode to the paint but falls to the floor in pain as he grabs at that right calf. With their superstar hobbled the rest of the game, the Pacers couldn't keep up with Oklahoma City's star duo, who combined for 71 points. For the first time in these playoffs, Indiana will be fighting to keep their championship hopes alive in Game 6. And the question is, will Haliburton play? Despite being a game-time decision with a calf strain that would sideline him for multiple weeks during the regular season, Tyrese was gonna play. I mean, it's the finals. So, in an effort to keep his minutes low, Indy decided to put the game away in the second quarter. Out of nowhere, the Pacers went on a blistering 30-9 run that saw TJ doing TJ things, Nesmith ripping nylon from deep, Tyrese joining him from downtown, while also doing a little bit of playmaking.
Steve points, throws it away. Haliburton comes up with it. Cross court, Siakam for the slam.
Welcome to the party, Siakam. Flight 43 is cleared for takeoff. Under pressure, facing elimination, Indiana did not flinch. We're off to Game 7. In every step of this run, the Pacers have been doubted, overlooked, written off. But now entering a do-or-die game in the finals against this Thunder team, they've earned everyone's respect. Indy, however, always knew this was possible, and they believe it's time to put the cherry on top. The tone was set by their leader, launching in a three that barely touches the mesh. 28 seconds later, he fills it up from 24 feet on the break, and a minute after that, he pulls from the parking lot, and it's butter. OKC calls timeout as the man roars at the crowd. Haliburton is here. He'll drag his team to a title if he has to. And right as we began to believe that Indiana can really get this done, one of the great playoff runs we've ever seen came to an end.
Good contest from Dort. Haliburton falls down. He looks hurt right away when he fell. Of course, that strained calf, he's in pain, so emotional. Oh, you get in a situation like this, you're just sick to your stomach for the young man.
It's one of those moments where you're at a loss for words. It just seems so unfair that a player at the peak of his game, in the most important moment of his life, could see his dreams collapse right in front of his eyes. Only if it could have lasted one more game. Waves of shock and disbelief were going through every player as they continued playing, and yet Indiana kept pushing, grinding out a 1-point lead headed into halftime. However, a break from the game and a chance to sit with the magnitude of what just happened seemingly took the air out of Indiana's lungs. OKC seemed much quicker, motivated, and focused in the second half, as they would go on to crown themselves NBA champions. For just a moment, it seemed like they were gonna do it. The improbable comebacks and series-defining shots were all gonna culminate in one of the great Cinderella runs the sport has ever seen. It was destiny, but instead, it never made it past that moment.